When New Life for Haiti first walked into the remote Grand Anse River Valley, we found so many needs. Our first thought was to focus on schools, because the schools were leaky shacks and there wasn't enough space for all the kids. But then we realized that kids were hungry, and so we started a feeding program so that we could feed the children when they came to school. After that, we realized that there wasn't even basic medical care here, so we started to do clinics. And then over time, we realized that even the kids who were coming to school, they really weren't learning very well. So we began a teacher training program, and we started a model school called the School of Hope. As our work unfolded here over the last few years, we knew we weren't solving every problem. But we also knew that we were meeting real needs, things that were really changing people's lives. But then we were blindsided by yet another need. I made 7 trips down here last year, and on one of those trips I became aware of an orphanage housing 26 children. When I visited the orphanage, what I found was heartbreaking. 26 children, from toddlers to teens, living in a tiny house, sleeping on bunk beds with no mattresses, just sleeping on the boards and eating once a day if they were lucky. So the director asked us for help, and of course we helped him. We bought mattresses for the children and we started feeding the kids on a regular basis. But then we began to wonder, just how big is this need here? It's not always easy to recognize if kids are actually homeless or living with other people that aren't their family. There are kids everywhere. After more research and asking lots of questions, we discovered an alarming number of vulnerable kids. The poverty in Haiti can make life very chaotic, and for a child, completely unpredictable. One parent dies, perhaps the other goes to the capital city looking for work, maybe comes back, maybe doesn't. If both parents die, which is common in a place with no medical care, the child may live with a relative or a neighbor, or just literally have no place to go. Here are the facts. The total number of vulnerable children in Haiti is estimated at 1,210,000, or between 20 and 25% of the under 15 population. Vulnerable is defined as children who live in households whose parents are starving poor, as well as those who are abandoned, neglected, or abused by family guardians. A recent World Bank study indicates that female-headed and landless households are among the most vulnerable of Haiti's population. Female-headed or landless households comprise 40% of all households in Haiti. In desperate situations, where there's no relative to take a child in, children often become restivics, which means they're given to someone and just used as a domestic servant. This is really a form of slavery, in which children often end up malnourished, illiterate, and sometimes sexually abused.
We're not naive. We know we can't change everything, but we've also learned that with love and determination, we can make life better in this one region. We want you to meet someone. Her name is Fania. She's a typical 7-year-old girl with one exception. She doesn't have any parents.
Her father died in 2010 and her mother in 2011, both of cholera. She lives with her grandmother, who can't really care for her because she is blind. Felix, what do you know about this family?
Yo vraiment ap viv nan yon moment difficile et yo pa gen suffi manger dans jardin pour yo vivre et puis moi inquiété parce que après grand-mère li mouri, m'pa konnen ki sa li pral faire pour vivre.
We visited them to find out how they're surviving. They get food from a small garden, which Fania helps with, but it is meager and vulnerable existence. Since her grandmother is disabled and not in good health, Fania is at risk of being homeless or simply being given away to someone, family or otherwise, leaving her vulnerable to slavery and abuse. After getting to know Fania and learning more about her dire circumstances, how do we not do something? It doesn't matter that our budget is stretched thin. We're not walking away. I guess this is where faith comes in. You know, we have our New Life for Haiti house, kind of our base of operations that we built here on the river 10 years ago. Right next to it is a big piece of property owned by the government. It used to be used by some churches here for different things. A few months ago, I asked if we could have it, and they gave it to us. And I'm not sure how, but we're going to build an orphanage right here for boys and girls. Each house will have 3 bedrooms, a big dining room, a kitchen, and a large sitting porch. And each one will be home to 12 children who will be cared for by good, carefully screened Christian adults. The children will be loved, nurtured in Christ, fed and clothed well, and get to go to school every day. We're going to call it the Village of Hope, a place where boys and girls can find love and the hope of a better life. We're committed to making this happen so that vulnerable children like Fania don't end up falling through the cracks.